landing. Secret government mission? The 1947 Roswell incident continues to spark worldwide interest and debate. The International UFO Museum and Research Center in Roswell is the original and most comprehensive UFO museum and research library in the world. Unique in focus, the well-developed library and the museum displays present an extensive overview of the Roswell incident, the cover-up, and the general UFO phenomena, including abductions, crop circles, ancient cultures, and the Hollywood side of UFOs. Founded in 1991, the Museum and Research Center is now located on Main Street in the heart of Roswell. With visitor numbers increasing, it is becoming the clearinghouse for information related to UFOs and the incidents and mysteries surrounding them. UFO Gifts. The museum's official gift store offers the largest selection of UFO-related items in the world. The award-winning museum's many honors include being named Main Street, New Mexico Business of the Year, top tourist destination of New Mexico, and earning the Roswell Chamber of Commerce Special Recognition Award. In 2002, founder Walter Hawk was inducted into the New Mexico Department of Tourism Hall of Fame. The International UFO Museum and Research Center welcomes visitors from around the world seeking the most complete and accurate information and invites you to also join us for our annual Roswell UFO Festival. Experience Roswell.
Landed on the ranch outside Roswell. This landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico. The rancher is headed over to the airport. Rancher W.W. Brazil was the man who discovered the crash. Colonel William Blanchard at the Roswell Air Base refused to give details of what the flying disc looked like. He kept in Texas, where the object was contacted. Lieutenant Colonel Roger Ritter said that it is being shipped by air to the LAF Research Center at Wright Field, Ohio. He knows that the line comes to the system at Wright Field. And there's a fact that there's special baseball still on top of it. He believes it there, but they have to land
Okay, here's a 3D model made of the event on the ranch.
The American Broadcasting Company and affiliated stations present headline edition with Taylor Grant. Today's edition presents a roundup of the latest developments in the finding of a flying disc.
This looks like the control room
This afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely
of the radio station.
may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week.
It's coming from the radio.
Chicago has been in contact with Army officials and evidence to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters in Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the airport.
Like some kind of teletype.
W.W. Brazil was the
There's a
man
picture of
who
the actual control
Colonel William
room.
Blanchard of the Roswell Air Base refuses to give details of what the flying disc looked like. In Fort Worth, Texas, where the object was first sent, Brigadier General Roger Ramey says that it is being shipped by air to the AAF Research Center at Wright Field, Ohio. A few moments ago, I talked to officials at Wright Field, and they declared that they expect the so-called flying saucer to be delivered there, but that it hasn't arrived yet. Broadcasting Company and visitations present headline editions of current events. Today's edition presents a roundup of the latest developments in the fighting of Flying Day. Late afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested a flight of the fast missiles flying southward in the Queen South. Army Air Force officers reported at once when Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Russia has demanded UN action to get all foreign military personnel out of Greece. Southern soft coal operators have not yet reached agreement with John L. Lewis, but the rest of the soft coal industry has resumed production. The House of Representatives has passed the tax reduction bill by more than the 2/3 which would be required to override a veto. Headline edition will bring you special reports and interviews in a moment. The American Broadcasting Company and affiliated stations present Headline Edition with Taylor Grant. From all over the world, wherever the day's headlines are made, Headline Edition brings you accurate, timely reports on the news behind those headlines, plus informative in-person interviews with the men and women who made the headlines today. Today's edition presents a roundup of the latest developments in the finding of a flying disc, an eyewitness report of today's significant actions in the UN Security Council. Ohio Congressman Thomas A. Jensen commenting on today's House action on tax legislation. A special report on the status of soft coal negotiations. And the details of today's All-Star baseball game reported shortly.
At the request of Congressman Steve Schiff of New Mexico, the General Accounting Office researched various branches of government regarding the 1947 Roswell incident. The General Accounting Office's report stated in 1994, the military checked the crash site for radiation, something not necessary for the recovery of a weather balloon. The Air Force has publicly changed their story 3 times about what crashed near Roswell. First, it was a weather balloon, then a Ray-1 target, and then Project Mogul. The Air Force now claims that the witnesses that saw bodies in 1947 actually saw crash dummies in 1952. Surviving key military personnel tell us that they are still sworn to secrecy regarding the Roswell incident. Secrecy oaths would not have been required for the recovery of a weather balloon. 25 men can be documented as serving at Roswell Army Airfield in 1947. Their names and documented serial numbers were submitted to the Defense Department and the Veterans Administration, and both organizations claim to have no records of these men serving at Roswell Army Airfield. Interviews were conducted with over 500 witnesses who either directly or indirectly were involved with the crash of an extraterrestrial craft with its alien occupants north of Roswell in 1947. Over 100 sworn affidavits were secured from these witnesses. There have been 20 deathbed testimonies by people who witnessed the 1947 event.
Flinty to carry a man. Now back to Taylor Grant in New York. There was important activity within the UN Security Council,
Yeah, this is the radio station. Here's a picture of the radio station.
Broadcasting Company and affiliated stations present Headline Edition with Taylor Grant.
It was on July. This is July 8th,
Research known authorities in New Mexico suggested that widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. On the airport,
Teletype machine.
one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. By correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico. The rancher turned it over to the airport. Rancher W.W. Bridgell was the man who discovered the talk. Colonel William Blanchard at the Roswell Air Base refuses to give details of what the flying disc looks like. In Fort Worth, Texas, where the object was first sent, Brigadier General Roger Ray says that it is being shipped by air to the AAF Research Center at Wrightfield, Ohio. A few moments ago, I talked to officials at Wrightfield, and they declared that they expect the so-called flying saucer to be delivered there, but that it hasn't arrived as yet.